365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
And welcome everybody to Fast Break. We are here on this lovely Friday evening, about to get into all things NBA. We got a couple games that are in the process of finishing up. We had an incredible trade deadline, some huge deals that went down that we're going to get into. And then we got a new list that came out of some coaches that, they felt were the top, and we'll definitely debate that. I have quite a few opinions on some of those coaches that were listed. But first, I want to turn it over to you guys and see just how's everybody doing. Chris, how we doing today?
Man, doing good. Just happy to be here. Missed you guys last week, but I'm back at it, ready to talk some basketball, talk about this trade deadline and everything that happened.
Okay, well, we look forward to it. We're going to get into that real shortly. Marcus, what's going on with you, man?
I'm feeling awesome. That trade deadline worked out perfectly for my team, but for me, in a sense, it didn't work out too good. But for my team, it worked out perfectly.
And who's your team?
Oh, the Sixers.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Definitely glad to have you on, man. Definitely glad to have you on.
We'll talk about it.
Mike, what's going on?
What's going on, fellas?
How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm looking forward to talking some NBA. Yo, the trade stuff is crazy, man. It's crazy.
Absolutely. And Nate, last but certainly not least, what's going on?
Nothing much. I'm a Nuggets fan, so even though we didn't really do anything in the NBA trade deadline, I am anxious for Jamal Murray and more Jamal Murray, but Michael Porter Jr. as well, to come back from their injuries. That's probably going to be heading in the next few games, probably.
Okay. No, it was a tough one for you guys tonight. Jokic played well and some others, but came up a little bit short against Boston. But fear. We still got a lot of season left. So you guys look like you're definitely going to be obviously in the playoffs. It's just a matter of how far you guys will go. But without further ado, we will go ahead and get into all those lovely, lovely trades that some teams made. And we can also get into some of the teams that didn't make any trades or turned down some trades. So we'll start with you, Marcus, since you are the Philly fan and were a part of the biggest deal. What did you think of the trade, and what do you think of the Sixers going forward?
Well, personally, I would have waited for that trade. I would have waited for James Harden in the offseason, because technically we didn't have to make that move at first. But from my understanding, he did sign opt into his player option. So then that made sense that he did that. Now we have him for this season and next season before he becomes a free agent. But what I would have done personally, I would have waited to the off season, let him come save Seth and Andre Drummond as a backup, because we don't have a backup center as going right now. And I would have kept them and still would have kept my young players like they did. So I would have just waited. And if you want to say high sense, I think they helped Brooklyn in a sense, because when Ben Simmons is actually right, he does have a game that I like, the ball handling, the defense and everything. He could pose a problem, once he get his mental right. But me personally, I would have waited on that, waited for him to become a free agent, picked him up in the off season, and then if Ben was still acting crazy, I would have traded him off and got some better pieces and solidified my bench that way in the off season. But I like the move because he did sign into his play option, but I would have waited personally.
So initial, and I'll pass this around to everybody in a minute, but since I got you, who do you think got the better end of the deal in your opinion? Because you said you would have waited. So since you did have to give up Simmons and Curry and Drummond, who do you think won the deal?
I think Brooklyn did. because they got what they need. Brooklyn got everything that they needed already. So you got Kyrie, you got Durant. Now you got a center that can rebound, play a little bit of defense. You got Ben Simmons who can defend, rebound. I mean, not so much shoot, but you really don't need that with Kyrie and Durant. And you got a better bench than we have right now. So I think Philly just helped them out all to get Harden and pretty much a return for nothing. Our bench is still not that great. So I think Brooklyn won that deal.
Okay. Appreciate the transparency and honesty there. Chris, what are your thoughts on the trade deadline or trade week?
I 100% agree with what Marcus just said, that Brooklyn won that deal just simply because what is the one thing that we talked about like the entire offseason with Brooklyn? Who's going to play defense? They'll go out there and get 150 points, but who's going to play defense? Now you don't worry about that. You got Ben Simmons. He's going to play defense. He's going to play on the inside. He's going to score on the inside. Him just being there just opens up that other 7-foot monster who you can't defend when he comes back healthy. On the away games, you're going to have Kyrie. So, I mean, they're just going to be unstoppable. I think that an underlying thing to this trade is Seth Curry. I don't think people really are going to see the value that he's going to bring because you're going to have Seth Curry and Patty Mills on your bench. Like, I talked about Patty Mills in the offseason being a very underrated move, and it's paid off for them a lot. He has that veteran leadership, and Patty Mills will get hot. So, I mean, now Seth is there. Seth can go get you, a good 25 easily coming off the bench.
Not to jump in, they still got Joe Harris that's going to. So they
has to come back. He's coming back.
3-point shooters to go with Ben Simmons and Durant is crazy, man.
It really is, man. Like, yeah, Philly gets Harden, but how much trust do you have in Harden? What if Embiid pisses him off one time, and then we back in the same situation, next year? Do you trust Harden come May? Do you trust Harden? You probably won't even see Harden in June, to be honest. To me, Brooklyn won it hands down, and they just became the best team in it. I already thought they were the best. They're the better. They just became better in the East.
All right. I hear you. Mike, what was your takeaway from the trade week?
Okay, well, fellas, I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to talk about it from a player standpoint and a general manager or owner. Short term, I think that Brooklyn might have won the deal, but I think that Harden going to Philly is like incredible. Just think, what did Philly give up? Think about it. What did Philly give up?
They gave up their backup center, 2 first-round draft picks.
Gave up back.
Okay. So do you want to win for now, or you want to win for the future?
I mean, technically, we could have had if we waited to the all season to win now in the future. Because even though the first round picks are unprotected, like they're gonna be late 20s, but we still have no bench. So now that we picked up Harden, we got rid of Seth, another 3-point shooter. We don't really have no 3-point shooting to go with Harden and Embiid right now.
I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this way. I think Seth is the reason why Brooklyn won this trade.
Right. Me too, 100%.
But if Seth was not part of this trade, then I would actually say that Philly won it.
Exactly.
100%, yeah. I mean, Harden being there, like outside the pick and roll, with him and Embiid, do they really have a lot? I mean, that's gonna be nasty to watch. Don't get it wrong. That's gonna work a lot.
Tobias Harris too.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Matisse. This trade was coming for a while. I mean, part of it was Kyrie going to Philly at one. There was some sort of structure where there was going to be a mega deal coming towards the trade deadline that involved Ben Simmons to Brooklyn. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought Matisse Thybulle was going to be part of that trade.
Nah, they did the right thing because you still need defense on the perimeter.
You had to keep him being rid of Ben Simmons.
Right.
You got to have somebody who's going to defend.
So I'm interested to think what Ray thinks about this thing.
Quiet still, fellas. Can I ask a question to all of y'all?
Absolutely.
How can you pay somebody $44 million and 40 million and 39 million. And you lose your bench, you lose damn near everything. Why would owners do that?
Well, to your point earlier, it was a win now move. To your point earlier, but to me, that you're not so much winning in a sense because now for me, Philly, you're basically going like 6-on-8, 6-on-9. We have no bench. You know, unless Shake Milton comes back to the way he was playing, that's your 6-man, but you still have no bench in a sense because you got to play Tyrese Maxey at the point or the shooting guard. Now that you got rid of, like Nate said, getting rid of Seth was the biggest piece of this thing because you can't rely on Danny Green. You can't rely on Tobias Harris. Like losing Seth was pretty much what made this deal go Brooklyn way.
You know, one thing too.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ray.
No, go ahead, Chris.
One thing. I mean, I'll talk a little bit more about this later, but like I said, I don't trust Harden in the playoff time. I don't really see Harden and Doc working well together.
I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I didn't think he was a great coach to begin with.
You got a good point there.
I kind of agree. I think that Harden and Doc are going to have more issues than Harden and Joel Embiid.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
So I definitely agree with a lot of what's been said. I think for me, the pressure now on Doc Rivers, and I'm glad y'all brought him up, is immense. I am not a big Doc Rivers fan. I've never really been a big Doc Rivers fan.
Oh man, thank you. Oh, I was gonna go in on that later.
Okay. Okay.
I think we all agree on that.
He's choked in a lot of different circumstances, and thank God he got that one ring, or we would look at him real different. But for me, James Harden went from a situation where he was supposed to be the guy, which I guess he got tired of because Kyrie was on and off or in and out. KD kept getting hurt. And he's really almost in the same situation, but with one less superstar. And so I don't know what the great appeal was. And from what we've heard, there's been a bunch of drama that was going on in Brooklyn that we didn't know, or at least we didn't hear about. I don't know if y'all watched the All-Star Game selection last night or the night before last night.
It was last night.
Where Kevin Durant made it very clear how he felt about James Harden picking Rudy Gobert ahead of him. And there was one other person he could have took instead of him. So I think Brooklyn was strapped. Had Philly known how bad it was in Brooklyn and how much Brooklyn needed to get rid of James Harden, I think they could have played hardball more. I agree. I think Seth Curry is a big part of this. And we talked about the shooting that Brooklyn will now have when healthy. Like Kyrie can shoot, KD can shoot, Seth can shoot, Joe Harris can shoot, Patty Mills can shoot. Like they could potentially run that lineup for stretches. And you run and pick and roll with Kevin and Kyrie, and you got those three guys on the floor. Now they would be small. They'd be really small, but that would be hard to keep up with. So I think it's really awkward that, and I believe they're in the same division as well. So they'll be playing each other for the foreseeable future. Ben Simmons will be back in Philly, and James Harden will be back at least for one more year, playing against them. So I really hope we get to see that playoff matchup of these two teams. I think that'd be great theater for the NBA. But I do think Brooklyn won it, and I just think there's a ton of pressure on Doc and Philly now, and you are heavily reliant on Joel Embiid staying healthy. And yes, he's done that this year, but to the win now point, Mike, I don't think you could risk going into next year because he's taken a lot of punishment this year because he's had to be the man, and you can't guarantee he'll be there in the same capacity next year. So I think Philly had to do it. I think they overplayed their hand. I think there were better deals out there without giving up as much, but at this, they got pressed up against the wire and they had to make a deal that I don't think was the best deal that they could have made with Ben Simmons.
So do you think that like Morey waiting so long kind of made him have to jump on it? I mean, because, there was the deadline, so he just had to take whatever somebody was going to offer. Because he turned down a lot early on in the season. Kept wanting more. He wanted more. Do you think that he's passed up some better deals?
Nah, he ain't passed up no better deals. I think to Ray's point, he just overplayed his hand. Because me personally, you ain't have to give up all that and just waited for Harden to be a free agent this season. And that would have been even better if you ain't had to give up nothing. And then you could have looked around the NBA after the season finished playing out. Somebody would have gave you more ransom for Ben Simmons, knowing what they need to fit in at the end of the season that didn't make the playoffs or who might have been missing the piece for the playoffs. So I think, like Ray said, he overplayed his hand. And he ain't have to make this move at the deadline. I'd have kept finding Ben Simmons to the end of the season. I would have got rid of him once we signed James Harden in the offseason. I would have got a better bench. He screwed this up. Like, to me personally, he screwed this up. Everything could have been done in the offseason. You could have had a better bench. You'd have got rid of some expired contracts and everything like that. Danny Green probably would have been off your books. There's so much he could have done in the offseason that he didn't have to make this move right now.
Now, I'm not sure on how the contract thing works, but if Harden would have because he would have had to opt out to be a free agent, so he couldn't have got his full 47, could he? If he would have just signed with Philly in the offseason?
For him to get the full extension, you'd have to do a sign and trade. So they still had to trade him, or he had to give up a bunch of money. And he already did that, I think, when he left Houston. I think he lost some money.
No, when he left Houston, I think that was a signing. No, he was traded.
No, he was just outright traded in Houston because he went middle of the season.
Yeah. So
yeah, he did.
Yeah,
because I remember the 14 trade.
So yeah, he did it right in the sense that he picked up the play option to get his money, but Philly overplayed their hand because, I wouldn't have. That's losing one piece, maybe two pieces like that, because you can't rely on Embiid to stay healthy all year. And then you can't take away a piece when we don't have no pieces to really take away like that. And to give up our shooting, we'll have no other 3-point shooters outside of Steph Curry. And y'all get that up for Harden.
I think that's the other piece, Marcus, to your point. The bench wasn't deep in Philly.
Right.
And so unless y'all going to hit a couple on the buyout market, y'all are thin. And there's a lot of competition on the buyout market. Schroeder's a buyout option. And I think there might be one or two other names that could be difference makers maybe. But it's not like there's a bunch of people that potentially are going to come available either. So I don't get it. I know people are loving the Harden and Embiid, at least people I'm seeing talk about it. But I don't even know how much they fit because they can't spread the floor. And James Harden has not been shooting well this year. So maybe we'll get a more inspired James Harden. But the James Harden that I've seen this year is not the James Harden that was averaging 36 in Houston.
In fact, to throw a quick stat out there, James Harden, when he played Denver, he only scored 4 points in that game. That's the lowest that he's had since 2010, the 2010-2011 season.
Yeah, I had some money on that, so I'm well aware of that. Didn't envision that coming, but no, I agree with you. There's been some of those games, high turnovers, low efficiency. So Embiid, based on the post he made when Ben Simmons got traded, he's not the easiest person to get along with either. So Harden coming there loafing, or the people, we had somebody in the comments joking about it, but in real life, if Harden's out in the strip clubs a whole bunch, not getting it done, Embiid's not one to hold his tongue. And so that could be a whole different issue. So I just think there's a lot of pressure, and also on Daryl Morey, probably the most on him, because he waited, and I think he could have handled this way differently, and they could have got way more and gave up way less.
We talk about Ben Simmons a lot last year in the playoffs, passing up his open shots and everything. I think we forget that Bucks Net series, Harden passed up an open shot too that when he gave it to KD to make him airball. Like, Harden is not going to be there for the big moments.
That's not the same thing though. There was a 6'10" guy under the basket, and then he passed it.
But it's Harden, though. I mean, that was a shot for Harden.
Ben Simmons can't shoot free throws, so you may have to take him.
I was going to say that
at the end of the game.
Here's why I would defend Harden. I would defend Harden in this aspect is that when y'all say he doesn't show up, I think when he was in Houston, until he got Chris Paul, it was really like you talking about Eric Gordon as your like second best option. And you at some point you're going to be fatigued handling the
Right.
ball,
Mhm.
driving to the lane. It's like I would defend him on that. It's not like he didn't show up. He just didn't have enough help to
But
keep
I'm
him.
gonna go. But that's really where I'm gonna go from though. That Chris Paul series, like, there's no reason that they shouldn't have beat Golden State. You the leader.
Well,
Y'all don't miss 27 threes. You stopped it.
Yeah, but at some point, like even like look at Chris Paul now on Phoenix. I'm gonna give Chris Paul some credit, even though I'm not a big Chris Paul fan like that. But
All right, get
you're
off the show.
talking
I'm
to
done.
you're talking to Chris Paul.
Oh,
fan.
that's
Yeah.
Chris's boy, man. You better be careful.
It's not a
That's
Chris
his
Paul
boy. You
fan
better be
like
careful.
that. But but when he's on your team, you do have a chance of winning. But he got hurt, so then you put Harden back in the same position he was before Chris Paul got there. So I'm gonna give Harden some credit on that.
So,
Like
Mark,
he literally is the definition of carrying a team by yourself. I mean, you can look at LeBron James, but LeBron James 6'8" and can do everything Harden can, but shoot the three better. So
Marcus, how far does Philly go? What is your prediction for them?
I think we stay right where we at, and then second round exit. Like I don't see us getting over that hump without no shooting. Like I don't see it. So you're not really helping Embiid or Harden right now with no help. Because you really can't rely on Tobias and Matisse Thybulle, he's not a 3-and-D guy yet. He's just a D guy. And Tyrese Maxey, he's still young. So we're second round exit.
And so we've obviously spent a lot of time on the Philly side of this. If you're Brooklyn, I think the great tragedy in all of this is we saw Harden, Kyrie, and KD play. I think it was 16 games together. I think they were 13-3 in a year and a half span. Like, I think as fans, that sucked. Like, I really wanted to see what they could have been. And obviously they were 13-3 in the games that they played together. My question for really the group is, how does Ben Simmons fit personality-wise with Kyrie and KD, who are clearly very tight? And Ben is still in, and I'm not knocking it, but he's still in therapy for his ability to mentally prepare and be ready. So having to deal with the New York media, having to deal with Kyrie and KD, and going into a new situation where you did get traded for a member of their big three. How do y'all think Ben Simmons fares in Brooklyn? And I'll start with you, Nate.
I think that as a player aspect, I think that it is going to help the team tremendously because now, even though that Ben Simmons is not a shooter, he is very good at defending the ball. So I do think as a roster, I do think that it will help. But you brought up a good point, Ray, about the whole media. I think that I know this is not a football show at all, but I do think that part of why Sam Darnold struggled, besides the whole Adam Gase thing, I think part of why Sam Darnold struggled as a New York Jet is because of the media. Now, I'm not saying that's not the only thing, but I do think that it is part of the reason why. Now, going back into the basketball, the media is very tough out there.
Mike, what about you? How you think Ben Simmons will get acclimated in Brooklyn?
Well, some fellas, I think, as a former player myself, I think that there's not going to be as much pressure on him because he's going to be further to them other guys. I think he can experience his ability and grow as a player. I think he's going to want to be there. He didn't want to be in Philly. He wanted to be in Brooklyn. So I think he's going to be a great addition to the team. I mean, 6'10", plays defense. I mean, distributes the ball. He just got to get a jump shot or even attempt to take a jump shot.
So, Mike, but that's to my point. So I'm glad you mentioned that. So we've seen it with the Lakers recently where Russ has been getting benched. And he said I think it was maybe today, the quote came out the reason he missed the last game with lower back tightness because he's not used to sitting so long. So naturally, there could be questions if Ben Simmons isn't on the floor in the games because you got a ton of shooters. I wouldn't necessarily have him out there that he can be the one to get fouled. If I can have Joe Harris, Kyrie, KD, Patty Mills, and other people that can hit free throws. So if for whatever reason they decide we have to take you out and the media starts hammering him on why weren't you in the game, I feel like those are questions that he's going to have to face. And initially he's going to have to face the initial questions of, so you're in a new place, what was life like in Philly? He is the center of attention for now. So I don't think he'll be able to escape the media, and he have one of those 2-point games or 4-point games that he's capable of having. They're going to be talking about it. So with that being said, you think that he'll just let that roll off his shoulders, or you think that'll have any impact?
I think that depending upon his mental capacity, I think he has to. I mean, he just needs to go play. Just play. Go do his thing. Just play and let the cards fall where they may. But he's got tremendous talent. He just needs to be comfortable taking the jump shot.
Cool. Chris, what you think?
I think it's going to be a little bit easier for him right now going to Brooklyn because when you go, because you got to think about in Philly, it was always, is it Embiid's team? Is it Simmons' team?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we can sit there and say Embiid was a better player, but there was still that option of, is he a 1A to Simmons? You know, because sometimes Simmons could go off and get you, 40. He's going to be a hell of a defender. He's going to do a little bit more than Embiid. He could be the reason they win. In Brooklyn, he still will be, but we know for sure Kevin Durant's the best player on that team. So there is no pressure for him to have to live up to. There's never going to be a question, is he the leader? Is he, anything? Yeah, there might be some times like at the end of the game where he has to make the right pass or something, but it's not going to be enough where he's going to be hounded by the media, I don't think. I think, hell, the media's going to probably be more focused on Kyrie still.
Oh.
Hey, that's a fair point.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, more and more, like I work for a company and we have a location in New York and they just removed their mask mandate in the state. Yeah. So there's thoughts that soon there could be a removal of the vaccine mandate, which would remove all of the Kyrie drama altogether, but nothing's been written in stone. But to your point, he's still Kyrie. He will be. He's gonna do something.
This is true. So yeah, even with that, but like, okay, so if the mask mandate gets lifted, or the vaccine mandate gets lifted, so Kyrie's gonna be playing. So they're still gonna question him more. Honestly, Ben Simmons comes in as maybe third option. The third person that the media really wants to talk to. Yeah, he'll get his for the next 2 weeks, he'll be a hot topic just because of the trade. But once everything dies down, that man can just go play basketball.
I think to that point, or the other piece to that is on the show. I don't know if y'all watched the draft. I think it was Ernie, legendary commentator, asked Kevin Durant about his injury status.
No,
and Kevin Durant said no. Super awkward, like only KD can do. But we're saying he'll be able to integrate back with them all being there. But there's still no timeline on when Kevin Durant will be back. So initially and foreseeably, after the All-Star break, one, if he doesn't come back initially, because that seems to be still up in the air, if he's going to start playing immediately, that's going to start becoming a question as to what's taking you so long and when you're going to be back. But two, he probably won't be playing with Kevin Durant initially because he's missing the All-Star game. So he's going to be out there as the number 2, so to speak, and he might be the number 1 on home games because Kyrie can't play. So there is going to be that dynamic where he might be the man out there until KD gets back and in home games. So I think he's going to have to get it going pretty quick because, like I said, he might be the only one out there some nights, which is, I think, what frustrated James Harden.
But does he still have the pressure of it, though? Because, we know that that's KD's team. Okay, he's just holding it down until KD gets back. I mean, what
we
pressure does
do,
he
but
really have
if they
to?
so if he comes in and say they've lost, I think, 10 in a row?
They lost 10 in a row.
Yeah, yep.
So he comes in and Kyrie doesn't play and they keep losing. Like, that's on you.
It's going to happen.
Ooh.
So,
like, he's going to be the one sitting at that press conference table by himself answering those questions.
He's going to be by himself answering those questions, but luckily he came from Philly media, and Philly fans, so being in Brooklyn's not going to be too hard on him. So,
I mean, the Knicks have been booing Julius Randle, so
right.
you never know.
That's not. He should be able to handle that pressure. But going back to what Chris said before, when Embiid is out and Simmons played, we had a better record with Simmons playing better than when we had when Joel was playing without Ben Simmons. So, I mean,
correct.
We're Ben Simmons fans, but I also understand, like, if you don't want to be there, we don't need you there. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So him going to Brooklyn as of right now with KD, I mean with Harden, I mean Kyrie being a half their player right now, he could pretty much operate the way he want to operate, like he did in Philly when Embiid was out. But they don't have the shooters right now that we had when Embiid was out. So when he gets there, they probably going to extend that losing streak to probably another 6-7 games. So they might be on a 16-game losing streak.
I don't think so.
I don't know about that.
Because
I don't know.
I only say that. I only say I don't think so because they have a game against the Kings coming up.
Yeah, but they have nobody there. Like,
I don't know. The Kings got some bonus now. Like,
right?
They don't got
the Kings have some bonus, but they got, who did they get rid of to get some bonus?
I don't know. I think that's a bonus. De'Aaron Fox, saying it could be nice though.
No, I think Fox is a Pacer. Fox is part of that deal.
Nah,
Halliburton.
They got rid of.
Yeah, so it could go to 16 games because really Brooklyn don't have nobody. Still at home.
They got some cakewalk. They coming out of the break. Well, they get the Heat tomorrow. That's probably L.
That's an L. That's an L.
Monday they get the Kings at home, so there's no Kyrie for that game.
Right.
And then they play.
But I don't think Simmons is playing. I don't think Simmons is playing right away neither.
No, not at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Knicks. So how does it work? Since Kyrie's a New York, he can't. I don't think he can play at Knicks because he's still a.
It's the New York. It's a New York thing.
Yeah, so he can't be there neither.
Then they get the Wizards at home, so there's no Kyrie for that.
And keep in mind, they lost the Wizards today.
No,
they did lose the Wizards yesterday.
Was it today or was it last night?
It was last night, yeah. And Kyrie played that game.
Right.
Kyrie did play.
So you look at that's 13 games already.
Then they get the
Celtics
at home, coming out of the All-Star break. So maybe Simmons will be back for that. But then they go at Bucks. Then they have the Raptors back to back. Then the Heat. Then the Celtics. And then we're into March. But it could get a little ugly.
I'm telling you, that's 16 games right there.
When Durant comes back. So and the East is very, very stacked tight in schedule or not schedule. The standings. They're currently in the 8 seed, but they're only 3 games out of the 10 seed. So then we're talking play-in. So
yeah, they'd be in the play-in if they keep going at this trend. They'd be in the play-in or maybe out the playoffs if they keep going.
They go on a 3 or 4 game slide. They could end up in the 11 or 12 seed if the Knicks or Wizards, especially if the Knicks and Wizards are beating them. They'll be getting in wins. So it could get a little nerve-wracking. With all this trade, it would be a tragedy if they didn't even make the playoffs because they lost too many games to catch up.
Right. And fellas, quiet as kept. No one's talking about Miami. Nobody.
They're first. I brought them up a couple shows ago.
Yeah, you did.
You did. Yes, you did.
Unappreciated team. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did talk about this one, but I feel like what Sacramento did. Do y'all like that trade? I know somebody brought up the Fox and Sabonis mix, but giving up Halliburton, who looked great tonight in Indiana, was that the right deal to make? And from all reports, most teams didn't even know he'd be available. So is that a good swap in your opinion? I'll start with you, Mike.
Absolutely not. You got a young stud Why are you going to get rid of him? You know what I mean? He could be the franchise of your team. To go get rid of him, you didn't even get much for him. That is a true talent right there. Why would you get rid of him? Especially as bad as you all are. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I think to Nate, your point, now I'll go to you next. I feel like De'Aaron Fox would have been the better fit in that trade because they're similar players, but one's on a max deal and one's on a rookie deal. So if it's me, I get rid of the max guy and go for the younger, cheaper guy. And if I can still get Sabonis and somehow make the money work, maybe you throw in somebody else. But I just didn't understand. And then they got another big. So then they had to trade Bagley, which they've been trying to get rid of him anyway. But I just didn't think they needed another big. They got rid of Tristan Thompson, who actually looks pretty good tonight, but you never know what's going on with Tristan off the court. So that's a whole different.
Yeah, he got some issues.
I guess they say we getting you out of California, you can go hang out in Indiana. But I just didn't really understand it. But Nate, kind of your thoughts on that trade?
I'm actually. I like where the Pacers are going. To be honest, they added in Buddy Hield, which I think was probably the biggest piece to the trade.
Are they keeping him because he didn't play tonight?
Buddy Hield?
Oh no, he did. I'm sorry.
He did. Yeah, he scored 16 points.
Yeah. I didn't even see him when I was watching. Go ahead.
They added in Buddy Hield, which I thought was the biggest piece to the trade, and then they also added Halliburton, as mentioned. But really, the only thing that they really got rid of was Sabonis, and the Kings, the King. I don't really like the mix-up over for the Kings. I do think that the King. I don't see that as an upgrade.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Marcus,
it's Sacramento.
I think that's the thing to take away from it is it's Sacramento. Marcus, what you think?
I mean, personally, I'm not an Indiana fan because they're in the East. We had some battles with Indiana, but I think Sacramento walked away with a good ordeal right here because you can build around Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox as your big and point guard. You can always find another Buddy Hield. He ain't like he's jumping off anybody's screen. Not really jumping off anybody's screen like that. I mean, yeah, he can shoot the three a little bit, but you can find a three-point
a little bit.
Yeah.
The Lakers are praying to God that they wish they could redo that deal.
I know that.
I mean, yeah, you want to get rid of it, but these monkeys doing this thing to substitute that. But to go to the Lakers real quick, that's more coaching than it is Westbrook. I'm sorry. So I'll leave that at that. And
yeah, we don't got to go down that road tonight. We got 20 minutes, so we can leave that alone.
I think Sacramento because I'm a big fan of Sabonis. I like his game, and what he brought to Indiana at the time. But I think Indiana didn't know how to build around him properly. So I think the Kings will, and I think the Kings got the better of this trade. Even though I've seen a few highlights of Halliburton, and he is a good player, but they did the right thing because you still need box office for Sacramento, and Fox gives you that right now. So you still got to sell tickets and put people in the stands.
Chris, did we get your thoughts?
I mean, Sabonis is going to bring about 28 more fans. He's not going to he's not going to fill up the stadium, man.
No,
you got to watch basketball to know Sabonis.
I agree with that. No.
Yeah, he's going to bring enough to fill his family.
I think. And I mean, like I said, I like Sabonis and Fox together. I just don't trust the Kings organization to do the right thing with them. Because I mean, Fox has been out there struggling for a while. Yeah, I mean, you had Hill and Halliburton out there, but what did they do? They're still not building good enough for me to think that they can win with this trade. And they got rid of their future with Halliburton, I think. So the Pacers, I mean, I think the Pacers will make some smart moves and build with their future. I mean, you already got a little veteran leadership with Bourne Ready there who played I don't know why when Lance Stevens in Indiana, he's damn near an all-star. So
Well,
I mean, you know,
I think his run is over with Halliburton coming in. They do the same thing. I think he only got like 13 minutes tonight. Like, I think that ship might have just sailed for old Lance, but I do like him as coming off the bench as a role.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I mean, the Pacers, they're still not going to make the playoffs or anything, but this will be a move that we'll see. We'll talk about this trade in like 2 years, probably, to see.
I think they'll be in a plan, but first round exit in the plan.
I mean,
you think they can get that?
I'm sorry, Chris, you said something that I.
I'll say you think they'll get in the play-in?
I'll think they'll be in the plan, but I don't think they're going to go farther.
I mean, to that point, the Kings did in Sabonis' first game. He did 22 and 14, and they beat the Timberwolves, who are, by all accounts, a playoff team. So it could work. Harrison Barnes is still there. He's not going to give you 30 every night, but he's a shooter. He can spread the floor. De'Aaron Fox is that. They got Davion Mitchell. I like him a lot, too. He's a young guy. Can get up and down, can get some buckets. Jeremy Lamb gave him 14. He's kind of disappeared in recent years. So I agree. I think it'll take some time. I think in a weird way, it seems like the Kings are in like win now mode when I don't think they're really on pace to win now. But Indiana,
that makes so much sense.
Like they're not going anywhere in the foreseeable future, in my opinion. But I think Indiana, if they can build around their young talent with Duarte and then Halliburton, I think they can make moves eventually in the East. But I still think they're going to need a veteran guy that can get the ball in the bucket consistently. I think they lost that in LeVert, who closed them out, ironically, tonight. He hit about 4 or 5 shots down the stretch to just put the game out of reach. But I think they have that. Buddy Hield is kind of that, but I think they need a bona fide guy that can get his own shot, and Halliburton's not that yet. So I think the future is brighter for Halliburton to me than for Sabonis. But today, I think Sabonis was an all-star last year. So
he was.
He's proven talent. And you typically want to take proven talent when you can get it. So before we get out of here, we do got to talk about two franchises that, by all accounts, are grossly underachieving this year. And sadly, we don't have our president, Freddie, here to talk about.
Here we go.
The Lakers had an opportunity to get out from under Russell Westbrook. And we don't have to go deep into Russ, but I'm willing to talk if you guys are willing. But they chose to keep Russ instead of trading the 2027 first-round pick for John Wall. So, in essence, as bad as the Lakers have looked and as bottom as I feel they hit losing to Portland with nobody, and then to not make any moves, what was going on with the Lakers? Marcus, I'll let you start. Why didn't they make a move?
Personally, I think where they at now is where they need to be as far as the Lakers goes, because what they did was they've proven to Russ right now, look, we didn't trade you, we got you back, and going forward after this, I think they're going to play him differently like I think they should have been doing. I think they're going to have Russ coming off the bench. We're not so much coming off the bench. I think they're going to stagger his minutes to play more with the bench and have him run that second unit and let LeBron and AD do their thing in the first unit. I think they're going to play Russell differently right now. So they have to make a move. You know, they can look into the buyout market, pick up a veteran or whoever, because really there was no moves out there for them to make. I mean, with John Wall, John Wall hasn't played in over a year and a half, I believe, maybe 2, depending.
Neither had Klay Thompson.
So okay, so there you go. So what you really gonna be getting from John Wall is not, you don't know, but you know what you're getting from Russ, basically,
which is not good.
Well, I think if they play him the right way, then I think
you're saying play him the right way. So you think playing him the right way, you think Russ won't realize he's playing with the second unit most of the time and not finishing games?
Well, see him. He don't need to be finishing games because that's where they're going wrong at. So,
But
But that's his
so
problem right
you
now.
think
Like he said the
you
quote
think
earlier.
right? You think Russ is going to be happy? You said your initial point was that they stuck by him by not trading him, but we
right,
stuck by you by not trading you, but we're also not going to let you finish games. And
not
he's
so
made
much.
it very clear he feels he's earned the right to
You see,
finish games.
he needs to change his mentality because let's just say he gets hot he'll get played at the end of the game. But if you're not playing defense, you're not scoring well, and you turn the ball over in the fourth, you're not going to play. Anybody should be benched. The money you make should dictate how you get played in the fourth quarter. That's just me personally. But if he's coming off, if he comes off the bench, play with the bench like 30 minutes and go get his stats. That saves LeBron and AD in the fourth quarter a little bit. So where Russ doesn't really have to play as much in the fourth, which then they can finish games better. That's just me personally, and I think that's the way they're going to do it, and you'll see a big
Oh
difference in
boy.
it.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ah, hell.
Freddie is
No.
slowly into the building. Freddie, we were just talking about your squad and how they didn't make any moves when they could have got out from under Russell Westbrook, who you've become a huge fan of. So did you want to kind of elaborate on what the Lakers are doing on the trade deadline and why they didn't get out from under Russ, who you think so highly of?
First of all, I want to say good evening to my brothers, my brother Con Man. What's going on, my
Yes, sir.
brother? How you doing?
Good.
And then my brother, my cousin Chris. What's going on?
What's up, man? Before you do get started, though, I do want to comment on something with this Russell Westbrook thing. Do you remember in the
Hold
summer
on,
we had
hold
some
on. I
argument?
gotta get my. I haven't said
No,
hello to
you're talking to me
everybody.
now. We'll let you get all that out the way. I'm about to go right now because I'll forget. Remember in the summer we had our debate over who would you want, Chris Paul or Westbrook? Who's been proven right? All right, go ahead. Get your introductions out the way.
Nate the Great. What's going on, my brother?
It's just a long day at work, but yeah, it's been a great day. It's been a great day so far. Great hockey show before this one, and then now a great basketball show so far.
There you go. I'm coming on here to educate. You just know that. And my dude Marcus, you got some cereal behind you? What's going on, my dude? Hey, man, making me hungry, bro.
This is what I do outside of what we're doing now. You know, that's my podcast joint right there. So I'm in my office.
I see my boy Chris representing, by the way. Pray, man, why you gotta ask me this doggone question, man? How you doing tonight, man? But you had to ask me this question. I mean, let me address the elephant in the room. Shall I?
Do it. That's why we do it to you.
Especially since I've had 24 hours to think about this. Because at first I was an emotional wreck. I'm not going to lie. Because I was praying to the basketball guys that something will be done. But you know what? I'm a man of hope. I'm a man of faith. I still got hope. The Lakers did not make a trade because they know what they have this off season. They have a chance to make a move. No order, no other than make this roster, make this team back to championship caliber team. But I'm not gonna count this season out just yet. I'm not. LeBron about to go dark 30. He about to turn that phone off. About to go in playoff mode early. He's telling AD, get ready, AD. We about to go on a run. He's telling our third wing of this big three, Malik Monk, get ready to shoot that rock. Get ready to shoot that rock. He's telling our fourth option in THT, get ready to do your thing. To do your thing. So listen, we about to go on a run. Melo, fifth option, get ready to shoot that thing. Get ready to score when we need you. Because one thing I know, and one thing I can trust in, LeBron will make sure his teammates are ready. He will have his guys ready. And I believe the combination of LeBron, AD, Monk, Melo, and THT in Austin Reeves, they can get the job done. They can get the job done. What y'all have? Did y'all miss anybody?
It seemed like you missed a player.
Who I missed?
You miss none. You miss none.
Well, he been missing.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna be
Ariza?
there too.
Yeah, you miss a reason
Yeah,
too.
Reason gonna be there.
Hey, you missed my boy, Avery Bradley. That's my dog.
Avery, he gonna be our best. He gonna be the
Hold on.
perimeter defender.
Number 0. Who's that number
think you
0?
missed- I think you missed Dwight Howard too. He usually shines in the second half.
And the White
Yeah.
Howard. Hey, Ray, I'm gonna give him that KD answer. Watch it. What you about to say, Chris?
Number 0. Who is that?
We have a number 0 on our team.
Is he healthy?
Who?
His back was tight last game.
Yeah.
Who?
You know what you do with people that's hurt? You're supposed to trade them, not keep them.
Who?
You know,
The starting point guard.
LeBron?
No, they're talking about the other guy, the turnover guy.
the triple double guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Oscar Robertson retired.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, Frank
It was,
Vogel. Yeah, he's coaching.
Russ is gonna get him fired, and that's unfortunate. But I am surprised
Russ?
they have not
Who's
fired
that?
Frank Vogel. Hey, the next game we can play by play it. I'll point them out to you. How about that?
Ooh. The next game is tomorrow against the Warriors. Are we doing the play-by-play of that one?
I know you're talking about our 6-man.
Oh, now your sound don't work. What you pushing the mute button while you talking? We can't see them hands.
Apparently.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, I think he was pushing the mute button.
Yeah, he was pushing the mute button.
I don't blame him.
You hear me?
We can hear you.
Our 6-man?
Who is it?
Russell Westbrook. You talking about Russ?
He said he's a 6-man.
That name came up.
Okay,
The
yeah,
6th man.
Yeah.
How you
he's
gonna
have to come
disrespect
off the bench.
the former MVP like that?
But we don't judge the former MVP off the past. We judging him what we see now. And what I see now is that he deserves to come off the bench.
So who you gonna
And
start?
Want me to go a little further? You want me to go a little further?
So Freddie, answer me this.
Further for you.
Freddie, I have a question for you, real quick. You said Russ is best as a 6th man. In your last game, that guy didn't play. And y'all played a Portland team with no CJ, no Dame, no Norman Powell, no nobody. Can you tell the people if y'all won that game without that 6th man, or did you lose it?
I lost it. We lost it due to the fact Russell Westbrook has broken the spirit of his team. You can see the morale of those guys. You've seen the morale. They came out of the game looking defeated. They like, you know what, bro? Hey, man, these last couple of games been horrible. What's the even point of us even keep going? What's the even point of trying? But now that they had these last couple of days off to get their mind clear, get their body right, get their spirits back up to par, the trade deadline's gone, we're going to see a different team.
You know what,
And
Freddie?
you know
I think,
who our
like what you just said.
would be? He's not currently on our roster right now, but he's going to get bought out by the Houston Rockets, and we're gonna make millions with Dennis Schroeder. We're gonna get back good with Dennis Schroeder, and he will. Just watch. He's gonna be the starting point guard for the Lakers again.
So he's just gonna come in and take Russ's spot.
We gonna do like when back in Con Man's day. We gonna give who's the best man fit for the job. Who's hustling in practice, who's playing better, and who's doing the right job. That's who's gonna start.
Okay.
And if that's Dennis
Well-
Schroeder, that's Dennis Schroeder.
I have a question though, real quick. With Westbrook, he sat out like the back tightness thing. Do you think that was a conversation he had in the locker room about why he wasn't gonna play for real? Like just making it, I'm not gonna sit out, so I'm gonna say my back hurts. You know what I mean? And like that really could affect the morale.
You know what? Listen, man. The problem with the NBA today is we treat these players of their name instead of what they're doing now. And Russ got to realize that, hey, I'm not the same guy that I was 4 or 5 years ago in Oklahoma City where I can dominate. And then you got to realize, Russ, it's not a bad thing coming off the bench. People think it's a bad thing. But you know what this does? This gives him an opportunity to be Russell Westbrook. He can't be Westbrook with AD and LeBron on the court. But on that second unit, he can be Russell Westbrook. He can take over the game. He can do what he wants to. But when the other two on the court, hey, you gotta fall in. You have to sacrifice your game. And he has shown this year he is not willing to sacrifice his game for this team to win games.
But this has been Westbrook's game, though. Like he's always been this player. He's gonna be high energy. He's gonna shoot a lot. He's gonna miss a lot. He's gonna get some assists. He's gonna get a lot of turnovers. That's been what he has been. Nothing has changed. It's just amplified because he's in LA next to LeBron.
And that's why I say coming at this point, coming off the bench is your best option. And let's see if we can save the season. Because this offseason, I do believe they're going to trade him. They're going to trade him. He's going to be gone. And the reason why they didn't trade him is because they will have. And this is the reason why they didn't make no trades. This summer, they can trade Russ. They can trade THT. They can trade that 2027 first round pick and 29 first round pick. And if you mean you can trade those, and you can probably get a decent player. I'm not going to say you're going to get no Damian Lillard. I'm not saying that. But you can probably get a decent piece.
A lot of your players are on the first round option as well.
Yeah. So hey, we're gonna reload or get Russ contract off the books. Hey, but to save this season or try to make something this season, to have Russ come off the bench, then you gotta try to make a run for it. You got to at least try to do something.
Doesn't Russ have the player option this year too?
He do got a player option. He can.
So he's gonna sign for that $47 million.
Yeah, he can opt into that.
Yeah, that's what I said. He gonna trade him.
Who's gonna take that contract?
The best bet is for him to go back to Houston. Is to go back to Houston and try to get him.
No, if they will take that contract, you have 2 draft picks you're including. You're including young player in THT. I mean, hey, if I'm Detroit, you say, you know what? Nobody's coming here. We'll take it. We'll get the 2 draft picks. We'll get THT. We'll probably buy out Russ. We'll give you Jeremy Grant.
$47 million?
Oh, ooh.
You're not buying out $47 million.
But why would
Detroit?
For Jeremy Grant, you can get way better than Russell Westbrook for Jeremy Grant. Why would I do that?
And the Sixers used to have Jeremy Grant when he was younger. So
you get 2 first-round draft picks.
You're getting a 7th grader and a 5th grader. No, I don't care about that.
So what do you think is a fair trade? It's not going to be John Wall.
Nobody's going to take. You're not going to take Westbrook for $47 million. Y'all are stuck.
And benching him.
The only way I'll take John Wall.
Hurt the value.
I'll take John Wall. This is what the Lakers wanted to do. I've seen the report. They wanted Christian Wood as well. So maybe this offseason, they better include that 2 draft picks. Okay, give us Wall, but we want Christian Wood as well.
Okay,
Freddie,
in all honesty,
I got a question for you, Freddie. This is a legit question. Matter of fact, for everybody, because we keep coming at Russ, but we know what Russ is. Russ been doing this for the past 13 seasons. So still doing it. So when we gonna start looking at AD like we should be looking at KD? Like when AD, if he go out and get you Pelican numbers along with LeBron and with what you call is doing, Russ, LA would be in a way better position.
He's been doing that. He's been doing it the last 5 or 6 games. We still losing.
No, he hasn't because
So what happened last game?
He only scored 17 when y'all lost to Portland. You know, so
I said, well, minus the Portland game, he's been putting up 29, 30,
if he played like he did when they
rebounds
played
a night. He's been
Philadelphia,
losing, bro.
if he played like he did when they played in Philadelphia, then y'all have a better chance. Along with Russ coming off the bench.
Listen, bro.
Do you remember the Bucks game when Giannis made him his son?
Ooh, he did get
first off, Ray.
Yeah,
they didn't guard him the whole game, so let's get that straight.
Well,
LeBron
if you're a defensive player of the year candidate, why didn't you take him the whole game?
LeBron did do a lot of that guarding on Giannis Antetokounmpo, Ray. So I just
and that's foolish. You had the 19-year veteran guarding Giannis, arguably the best player on the planet, and you got AD on the same court. What are you doing?
Well, like I was saying,
point, we got to start looking at AD.
But Marcus, like I was saying, bro, listen to me. We've seen LeBron. He's been stepped his game up.
Right.
When AD came back, he stepped his game up. There were like 4 or 5 games he went on those spree, averaging 30, 17 rebounds. But Russ is the guy that still haven't done that, and they still losing the game. You can't win with the guy who's giving you 5 points a night. He's shooting 1 for 10 from the field, and he plays no defense. Like I don't even care for a score. He don't even have to score. If he goes to the game and scores 0 points, I'll be okay with it. If I know he's playing tough-nosed defense, if he's rebounding, passing the ball, no turnovers, I will be okay with that.
That's definitely
not happening.
So Freddie, to that point,
his whole career.
You said throw out the Portland game. So let's go back to that Milwaukee game. You talk about Russ and defense. Do you know that Giannis shot 17 of 20? Yes. 44 and 14. Russ only played 26 minutes. So how is that Russ's fault in that blowout?
Because you know what? When Russ was in the game, we was down by 30. By 30. We took him out the game. We bring it down to 10. That should tell you.
You realize LeBron's
plus
minus in that game was minus 25?
Russell's
plus minus was minus 16.
Ray, you can try to defend this man all you want. Do you miss him in Washington? Are you tired of the Kuzma?
No, I'm not a fan. But I agree with Marcus that he's getting the sole blame.
Right.
And he's not the only problem. I think there's a coaching problem.
A guy that's turning the ball over at a high clip, play no defense, shoot the ball horrible is not a problem.
LeBron's turning it over at a high rate too, especially when Russ don't play.
But you know what? You know what the difference is, Ray? You know what LeBron says in the press conference? Oh, I'm taking accountability. It all comes down on me. What does Russ say? Oh, this is who I am. I'm an MVP. I shouldn't have to prove nothing to nobody. That's a difference.
What you say in the press conference? What did you do when you was playing?
He don't hold himself accountable. That's the problem. Lakers.
LeBron hold himself accountable and to keep making more turnovers, shooting a bunch of threes.
But guess what he do? He giving you 30 points a night. He giving you 7, 8 rebounds, 6 or 7 assists. He's doing all he can. He need people to step up and help carry the load.
That's where AD come in at.
But he made the team.
37 years old. No. See, people always gonna put this on AD. Stop doing that, bro. Like AD is a champion. AD proved. Like, hey, I get that, Marcus. He played bad start of the season. AD didn't look good, but since he came back, he's only had 1 or 2 bad games. I'll give him that. But
he only played like 3 games.
I'm gonna bring up numbers if y'all want to go there because I'm tired of this land.
So they play a bunch of minutes in blowouts and they put up numbers.
Hold on. I'm about to bring up numbers for you. Hold on.
I mean, they're not winning. I don't care about you putting up numbers and losses. That's why you got Russell Westbrook, because he put up a bunch of numbers and a lot of losses, and people thought he was better than he really was. Same thing.
Thank you, Ray. Oh my gosh, Ray just said it.
The same thing AD did in New Orleans. He put up huge numbers and they never went nowhere.
January 27th, played 34 minutes against the Philadelphia 76ers. 31 points, shot 14 for 21.
Mm-hmm.
0 for 1 for 3. 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. The next game against the Hawks, 27 points, shot 50%. Again, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Since against the Trailblazers, he gave them 30 points, 15 rebounds, 2 assists. Against the Clippers, 30 points, 17 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Against the Knicks, 28, 17, 3, and 2. Against the Bucks, which I said that, hey, they didn't go to him like they should have. He still shot the bottom, all really efficient, by the way. Gave him 22 points, shot 8 for 10 from the field, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. And against the Portland, he gave 17 points, 8 from 11, 7, 6, and 1. So
now, how many of those games?
I give you 2 games that this man have not shown.
Now, how many of those games was without LeBron? About 4 of those games, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, why are they not putting this together with LeBron's on the court?
It's a lot easier to put up those points when you don't got LeBron with the ball in his hand the whole time.
But
you still got
Westbrook. Can we not sit up and say that Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis have not been the great duo at all this year?
Right, that's what I'm saying. So why are they putting this together?
Because Russell Westbrook is not a true point guard. They're trying to make it. Russell Westbrook has been forced to play this position. He's not a point guard.
But he can't shoot to play any other position, though. That's the problem.
Right. He has to play point guard.
So okay. You're
Go
right,
ahead, Nate.
It's Anthony Davis' fault. It's his fault because this man can't shoot. It's his fault.
That's not what I'm saying.
Anthony Davis can't shoot.
This man can't play defense. It's all AD fault.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what y'all making it seem like.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's not all Westbrook's fault. Is all I'm saying.
But it's his, I didn't say it's all his fault. He's the main problem. He's not the only, but he's the main.
You realize Anthony Davis is shooting 17% from 3 for the season?
What is Westbrook shooting?
17%.
Yeah,
Westbrook shooting from 3
because he had a horrible. He shot the ball horrible. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. He did. Started this season, he shot horrible from the 3-point line.
I'm pulling up, Rush. Y'all can keep going.
But at the end of the day,
my thing, Freddie, if AD gets you 20, let's say AD gets you 25, 14, and 3 blocks. LeBron gives you his average 27, 7, and 7, and then Russ gives you 16, 8, and 7.
He's not going to do that.
29.8. Russ is shooting almost a little under 30%.
So if AD just shows up, and then whatever Russ gets you is a compliment, basically, at this point.
Marcus,
so
I'm going to tell you how bad it is.
Bigger roles when
Marcus, I'm going to tell you how bad it is, brother. There'll be games that Austin Reeves played better than Russ.
Yes.
But Marcus,
rookie.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But Marcus, on your Russ stat line though, okay, he gets you 16 points. That came off of 14 shots.
Yes, you're right.
He'll give you 8 assists.
6 turnovers.
8 assists with 6 turnovers.
Right.
I mean,
what I'm saying, but if Anthony Davis is getting you.
But when are we gonna hold Russ accountable?
I'm just saying.
I'm getting sick and tired.
What I'm saying is,
but it's not Russ. They try to defend this man.
Give you his numbers, and then KD is giving you. I mean, AD is giving you a pedestrian like 18, 10, and 2, on top of Westbrook 16, 8, 8, and 8. Like AD has to compliment somewhere in there where he has to get you. He has to average 25. In order for the Lakers to win, basically.
So right now, if the Lakers are the Lakers better without Westbrook or without AD?
Without no.
I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you, Freddie. Marcus.
They would be. They actually, I think, didn't they win more games when AD was hurt than they was when AD played when Westbrook out? I think they have.
But Westbrook's only missed 1 game.
Yeah, so I think when AD's out, they're not too bad. Because now Russ knows his role as as a second fiddle.
Who's your team?
I'm a Sixers fan. But I watch all NBA, so I can talk.
We're gonna trade him for Tobias this offseason. You can have Russ, since you love him so much.
I would actually take him over Tobias to pair him with Embiid and Harden. That just
we've seen
the Harden and Westbrook experience.
Harden do not want to play with Russ again.
No, y'all see that experience
right now
with a Clint Capella. You haven't seen it with MVP.
Marcus. Me and you having a beautiful moment right now.
Listen,
Philadelphia, fire Daryl Morey right now. hire Marcus. Team trust Carl Marcus to make this trade right now.
I would do it. I would do it.
Marcus, if they hired you to make that trade, they'd fire you as soon as it cleared.
No, because
so you finna sign Harden and Westbrook to $47 million next year.
Listen, let me tell you this, because at least you know what you're getting in Russ, and you know what you're getting.
Some bullshit.
You do. It sucks.
But you don't. But you don't know what you're getting in Tobias Harris.
You don't.
Yes, you
know.
do. Tobias is consistent.
No, he's not. He's
kind
up
of
and down. He's up and down. At least I know with Russ.
He's Chris Middleton. They're the same person.
No,
okay,
Chris Middleton, I ain't gonna disrespect Chris Middleton like that.
Chris Middleton some booty. He gets hit by Giannis, but Chris Middleton is some booty.
Listen, once you do that, if hypothetically they had Westbrook, Harden, and Embiid together, that's a better tandem than Westbrook.
Embiid ain't touching the ball at all.
And Ibaka when they had OKC, that's a better tandem.
Hey, Embiid ain't touching that ball no more.
I think he would be. And that's the thing. And then that's a whole lot of lobbing to Embiid, pick and roll both ways, and Harden can shoot the three. And Westbrook, I think his turnovers would be lower because, Harden can handle the ball some too.
What?
Well, y'all hating on this scenario. Listen, y'all hating on this scenario, but I think the turnovers would be less than with LeBron and AD.
You guys do realize that Harden and Russ lead the league in turnovers.
Yes,
like they're 1 and 2 right now.
But they
always are. For like the past 5 years, they're 1 and 2.
But
so now you want to put it on the same team?
Yes, because when they were
Joel Embiid is knocking both of them out.
I'm trying to tell you, y'all, if y'all see the situation the way I see it, it's a better fit.
And Doc Rivers no coaching ass too, man.
I'm with you. I'm not a fan of Doc Rivers, me personally.
Listen, man.
But that Westbrook, Harden, and the B tandem,
make this man your GM. Make him your GM. Let him do
it for the Sixers, and I would bring the title faster than 1983.
You couldn't even make that trade on 2K.
If Harden and Ben Simmons get paired together on any team, I guarantee you there's going to be more turnovers in that game by that particular team than is Detroit Pistons scoring points.
I mean, they made it work in Houston. They just ran into LA.
I got a question, y'all.
That was 2 years ago. That James Harden don't live here no more.
I'm just saying, hypothetically, if that James Harden at that time
and that Russ don't live here no more.
So you're right.
But
I'm just saying, no, that's the same Russ. Like, for that's still the same.
That is the same Russ.
Russ used to finish around the basket way better than he does now. That man is missing so many layups.
Do y'all remember that series though? The Lakers defended Russ like, this is Russ, this is their defense, like way over here. So y'all signed him thinking he's gonna change something.
I got a question, y'all. So y'all probably already talked about the Brooklyn and the Nets and the Brooklyn Philadelphia trade. But I want to go back to that.
No, we want to talk about your ass team.
No, I want to talk about who on that team and who's the leader on the Brooklyn Nets? Can somebody please tell me? I'm trying to find it.
Kyrie.
This, you know what? This is gonna be a beautiful meltdown. I'm just ready to see this because you got three. You got three weird dudes on one team. I'm just hey, I love
that's true, that's true.
But that dude's weird.
That's funny. But Freddie, we're gonna have to talk about this KD thing, Freddie.
Half man, half season.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about this KD thing, Freddie. We're gonna have to talk about it.
We need. I'm about that. Are we close to the topic? We gonna talk about KD?
Yeah, we need to talk about it.
We can get into it next week because we over. But Freddie, we definitely appreciate you coming and providing us with some comedic relief in the form of Freddie.
My guy.
Freddie, you're a real one for it. Nate, Chris, Mike, Marcus, love talking to y'all. We're gonna see how this thing pan out. We'll have some. I guess it'll be All-Star Weekend next Friday, so we might be. I don't know what's going on Friday night. Probably the celebrity game or something we don't care about.
Celebrity game, yeah, celebrity game. I think, yeah.
But I guess while we have that, since we won't be on, no, we can talk about next week. How excited we are for the All-Star game. But I envision more losses for the Nets and the Lakers this week. So congratulations.
Can we talk about the draft? Like, did y'all talk about the draft?
No, we just talked about the trade deadline.
We referred to it, but there wasn't a lot to talk
weird
about.
Dude, bro. Like, did y'all see? Like, this dude is weird.
We didn't talk about that. The no moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then LeBron is so petty.
I think they were on the same page. Like they knew that was coming. They both, because even LeBron not picking James Harden to the end was wrong.
I thought that was going to happen in the group chat. Remember I said that?
Yeah, like they were in cahoots. So it's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be like MJ Isaiah All-Star game kind of feel, because that was.
I can't wait for the playoffs, man. Imagine Brooklyn and Philadelphia. Ooh, and Ben, Joel and B gonna do a hard.
They'll play each other this year. They play each other March 10th, I believe.
Yeah, there's gonna be some hard swings.
Andre Drummond said, I practice against Embiid every day. I know all his moves.
Imagine Philadelphia. Imagine Philadelphia.
We ain't gonna play Brooklyn in the playoffs. We ain't gonna play them in the playoffs, so we ain't worried about Brooklyn.
We should do a play-by-play of that game.
I'm with that.
I'm doing a play-by-play tomorrow, but not for NBA.
I should do one for Golden State tomorrow, but
you better not.
We're just gonna be a dub in San Francisco.
A dub for who?
You know who?
The Knicks just beat the Warriors.
Did they?
Yeah, beat them last night.
Hey, yeah, look at my new shirt I got on the way.
They need Draymond to get back quick.
What's that, Freddie?
My new shirt I just ordered, got on the way.
Okay.
My new team, my new championship team.
Lord have mercy.
So everything just LA for you now, huh?
Just make sure you
LA, baby.
Make sure you on Monday. So
I'll be at work.
Real talk. So
I'll be at work, unfortunately.
Oh, Freddie, how do you keep
Freddie with the fresh part? Tony got you straight.
Oh boy, hey.
That's awful.
What do you got there?
Hey, that boy, that COVID, before I had COVID, I looked like a werewolf, but now.
Now you still don't get it twisted.
Looking ready to take somebody's mom.
It's a good haircut, but...
Oh man,
I'm off every day until Wednesday.
Yeah,
well, enjoy the time off, Nate. I wish I was as fortunate as you. Now that I'm back to work, it's been nonstop. But that's how we keep the lights on. That's what they say. But appreciate you all, fellas. We will be back next week, 10 o'clock Eastern. Freddie, it looks like it's late for you. So we'll go ahead and let you get some rest. I know it's been a long week. It's been a long week. I hope you can recover this weekend to get ready for more losses that are headed for the Lakers. And wouldn't it be something if both Brooklyn and LA missed the playoffs? That would be a heck of a story.
You would love to see that.
One of the teams are going to miss the playoffs.
But you know what? I'm tired of this damn disrespect of the Lakers get banned. Everybody wants to talk about Frank Vogel get fired. I haven't heard anything about Steve Nash. Has he been the perfect pick in Brooklyn?
He's not the coach. We all know that. They told us that they don't need a head coach. He's just a placeholder.
Well, I mean, I'm just tired. I want the same.
How you gonna fire somebody that don't do nothing?
I want the same respect, man. Like, I want the same thing to happen in LA. They call us a dysfunctional franchise. I'll say the same thing about Brooklyn. Because
Brooklyn was first. You do realize Brooklyn was first in the East for quite some time.
Think about it though. Like Kevin Durant's hurt. Harden's been hurt. One of the superstars can only play half the games, and then when he's there,
Harden hasn't been hurt. Harden wasn't hurt. Harden just didn't want to play no more.
He had a hamstring injury.
It doesn't matter.
We saw the hamstring last year.
The first Philadelphia game, his big behind, chunky behind in the court.
He won't be because he'll be at the strip club the night before. He's got to celebrate that.
Nobody want to mention they got a dude who down there don't want to play basketball, and Kyrie Irving. There's a guy
hey, you are not going to slander Kyrie Irving.
I'm going to slander that man's name. That dude cares about anything.
That man has been playing.
He don't care about playing basketball.
He cares more about it than Russ do.
Kevin Durant isn't a leader. Well, one thing I say about Russ gonna show up to the damn game.
That is true. Like that is one thing you can never deny about Russ. He's not gonna cheat.
He didn't go around
100%.
Stage around
Too bad it don't translate to winning. He just be running around out there like Patrick Beverly.
Yeah, at least you don't think the earth is flat. At least you don't think the earth is flat.
They don't got nothing to do with can you put the ball in the hoop, which Russ can't.
Well, guess what? Kyrie might get knocked the shot, but he won't get the shot, so he gonna hold his team back.
They've tanking on purpose. We already talked about this, so he can play more games. Now
Why?
they're guaranteed to have him.
Why don't be a leader? Why don't be a leader and do what's best for the team?
Because you got to do what's best for you first. You got to love yourself first before you can love somebody else.
Basketball. You know this is a guy who don't play basketball. You know this is a guideline. Kevin Durant is there because of you. Y'all got James Harden.
They just got to get a new mayor. They get a new mayor and they'll be fine.
Kyrie Irving. Kyrie, are you going to deliver?
The Brooklyn Nets will petition the city. They'll get this fixed before the playoffs. Kyrie will be there. Don't worry.
They better hurry.
It's just like the trade deadline. They'll wait till the last minute.
Kyrie Irving retire.
Lord have mercy. You just don't like point guards.
You calling on the right person. No, I like point guards.
You know what? No, Ray is right because you hate Chris Paul too.
No, I like Chris Paul. I just hate when people call him the point guard. How can you be a point guard and you haven't won a championship? I mean, stop it. You haven't showed up in the big moments. I mean, why? I mean,
Jerry West is the logo and got 9 final losses.
He should be called the point guard.
Hey, Fred, you're messing with Chris now. Watch out. Chris is going to come at you.
Right. Hey, Con Man, one thing you know, you've seen Magic Johnson. You've seen Oscar Robertson. You've seen Isaiah Thomas. Them guys handle the ball, come up big in big moments. We haven't seen that in Kyrie Irving. So while I'm calling him the point guard.
You haven't seen Kyrie in big moments. Are you kidding me?
I didn't say Kyrie. I said Chris Paul. You ain't listening.
I was about to say.
That's because Chris Paul can't stay healthy in big moments.
We've even seen Kyrie Irving in big moments, but we can't see Chris Paul in there. When I'm not calling you the point guard until you can close the ship.
I ain't gonna argue that. I'm not a Chris Paul guy.
I agree with Jordan. He
Jordan.
states because he can't stay healthy in the big moments. He ain't
no Jordan, I didn't want nobody to see that.
You just defended James Harden for getting hurt. Or for like having to do too much. Chris Paul has to do the same damn thing. He's carried the team. He carried the Clippers.
He had Lob City. He had Lob City.
Had talent around him. Because Paul can't stay healthy enough.
He had Lob City.
Doc Rivers no coaching ass. Like, no.
Rondo got it done. Rondo got it done with Doc Rivers.
Sure did.
Rondo had Kevin Garnett. He had Paul Pierce. He had Ray Allen.
Okay.
He had Blake Griffin. Andre Jordan, JJ Redick.
Yeah, I love
Charles
Barkley. If you put Blake Griffin in the gym and say, "Hey, you can't dunk in 24 hours," he would have 2 points. No, you will not compare.
My thing is, I'm not calling a guy a point guard until he come up big in the big moment.
You realize
there's too many times
he's like a point puppet.
Come up short. Matter of fact, last year.
He was letting Devin Booker go out there. He left the shit.
You realize Chris Paul is the reason why the Thunders made the play. They were the difference between a first-round draft pick and they.
I agree, Nate. He's the same thing with Russell Westbrook. They can get you into the playoffs. Russ can. Hey, I said this before. You put Russ on the Sacramento Kings, he will find a way to get that team to the playoffs. But you know what the problem is? When the moment gets too hot, when the lights get too bright, they will show up. They are no-show. The game slips right out of their hands.
And
that's why a guy like Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas,
yes, sir, my boy. Yes, sir.
They deserve to be called point guards, not Chris Paul. Chris Paul just looks. Hey, at the end of the day, we're gonna think of him just like we think of Russell Westbrook.
Think of it as like a polytheistic society. So there's many gods. There's many point gods.
No, there is one point god, and it's Chris Paul in the NBA right now.
Wow.
Who's a traditional point guard? Name another point guard right now. Who's a traditional point guard right now?
Oh, right now, okay.
Rondo.
What team does Rondo play for?
He ain't really playing like that. He in Cleveland. He in Cleveland, so he ain't really that.
He played good tonight in Cleveland.
Steph Curry's a traditional point guard.
Who?
No,
he is not.
No,
bro. In a sense, he handled the ball. He assists.
Ricky Rubio.
Chris, is this the girlfriend in the comments?
So
Hey, Miss Jordan, I
Steph
got a
Curry
question for you. This
Steph
ain't even
Curry is a
about
traditional
basketball.
point scorer, not a point
I
guard.
ain't gonna do Chris like that. I ain't
Nah,
gonna do it. Hey,
Steph
Miss
Curry
Jordan,
is
I'm
a
just
traditional
texting to
point
Chris,
guard.
and I want you to
Steph is
forward
not a
it.
traditional point guard. He's
I
going
want
to shoot
you- I want-
first.
I
The
want you
traditional
to
point guard is
quickly
going to get,
forward it
his
to you.
assists first, and he'll score as needed.
He's the traditional point scorer, not a point guard.
But at the end of the
If
day,
Steph Curry was 6'7", he'd be a
So what
2
you're
guard.
saying is
I think Mike
But
Chris Paul
Conley
is a
is
dynasty.
Ball is a traditional point guard.
I think Lonzo's probably the closest one who's a traditional point guard.
Lonzo,
But
Hey,
LaMelo.
You got Mike
quiet
Conley.
as his-
LaMelo probably not.
Hey,
You got
quiet
Mike
as it's
Conley
kept.
too.
Quiet as it's kept, Lonzo might be out of job by the time he get back because that boy Ayo been balling.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do with Lonzo, but Ayo, it's gonna be hard to put him on the bench because he's been hooping.
Nah,
Hey,
Lonzo,
you got Mike
Lonzo gonna get his
Conley.
spot back.
You got
Well,
Mike Conley.
they winning with Ayo.
But Chris,
The
at
Super
the end
Bowl.
of the day, when Chris Paul retired, we're going to think of him just like we think about Russell Westbrook. Great point guards, big numbers, but can he win the big game?
He will this year, jerk.
He ain't winning nothing this year. He ain't winning nothing this year. You think Chris Paul? Listen, man. He's going to do the same thing like he did last year. He's going to
Eliminate the
hold
Lakers like he
Devin
did last
Booker
year.
in
That's
the
what he's
same
gonna do
thing.
this year. The Lakers they'll get the A seed, and LeBron will get another first round exit.
You know what, Chris? Shaq said this the other day and gave me some inside news. I don't know if y'all was listening. Shaq said, "I'm gonna use Shaq voice. I'm going to go to Shaq. This is some inside information. Or the Lakers are happy exactly where they are. They rather play Phoenix than Golden State. That's the case, and they rather play Phoenix than Golden State.
What that mean?
Nobody's scared of y'all asses. Y'all don't put fear
What
in
they scared
the heart.
last year?
The
What they scared
baby
last
assassin
year?
Steph Curry do, but y'all nobody put fear in that heart.
What they scared of the Lakers? What they scared of the Suns last year?
We heard what his mouse looking ass said. We heard what he said. We coming for y'all. Y'all know
He do
campaign
look like a rat though.
Y'all know campaign look like a rat. No, he look like he know.
That's funny.
So you're just gonna take a shot at the man who's on the
I
best
didn't
team in
take
the
no
league?
shot. Somebody had to say it. He running his mouth and say, like, man, like LeBron said, stay humble, kids. Stay humble. You was just out
He
of the league.
put
2
you
years
out
ago.
of the
Stay humble.
playoffs and went to the finals.
No, he didn't put us out. Chris Paul and Devin Booker did. Ain't
Wait,
no
who
mouse.
did? Who'd you
You
say?
can
So
call
Chris
it what
Paul
you
did.
want.
Ain't no mouse did that.
I mean, Phoenix got a solid. They got a solid team. Like they're
Chris Paul went for a nice ride last year. That's for
yeah,
sure.
they got a solid team. So I'm not going to
He
hate
said
Too bad
Chris
we
Paul
bounced
and
down.
And Torrey
Booker
Craig,
did.
and like, let's not forget they got Torrey Craig back too. That's gonna be an underrated signing. Watch out.
I just
Watch
can't wait
out.
for the playoffs, man. You know what, Chris? Let me ask you a question. I got a question. If the
Championship
Lakers
or bust for the Suns.
if the Lakers beat Phoenix in the playoffs, you'd be sad, wouldn't you?
No, because that ain't happening. So I'll be good.
No. Answer the question. If they beat y'all, you would be sad.
I need conditions on it. What happened? Like, why? How did it happen? Is Devin Booker
They just
hurt?
lose.
Straight up? Hell no, that's not happening.
Miss Jordan,
Only-
please get some
only
tissue
way
ready
I
because
can
your
see-
man, he might be sad. He might be
The
sad.
only way I can see the Lakers beating the Suns in the playoffs this year is if both those guys get hurt.
Hell,
not one,
dealing with
not
Chris
both.
Paul, he might
Not,
get
not
hurt.
one,
Never
not
know.
either, but both. Both Devin
Never
Booker
know with
and
Chris Paul.
get hurt.
Never
He was
know.
hurt last
He's
year and still
soft like
kicked y'all
tissue.
ass.
He's soft like tissue.
He had one hand last year and still beat the.
One of
Lakers.
them hamstrings ready to go out by now, I bet.
Hey, calm man, you laughed a little bit too hard at that.
Let me get the rubbing.
Man.
Get the rubbing.
Oh,
Same
You
energy.
better take Shaq advice, get something icy hot.
Keep that same energy. Remember,
Hey,
you
I'm
got
talking
Westbrook.
that campaign now.
What?
Hey, but guess what? Y'all beat the Lakers.
Exactly,
Y'all beat the
Jordan.
Lakers last year. But let's put some facts on this. Y'all didn't beat a healthy LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Nobody
We
cares.
beat
Y'all
them
didn't beat a
on
healthy
the
Heat team in the finals.
But guess what?
Oh,
But guess what? When
You see her
Anthony
trying to talk
Davis
over you,
was by
right?
himself,
Right.
he dropped 40 on y'all bums and whooped that ass.
Freddie,
What'd you say?
Freddie,
Yeah.
What'd you
Freddie,
say?
Fre-
What'd
the
you just say,
Suns
Freddie?
may not the Suns may not have beaten the Lakers healthy, but the Suns weren't healthy either.
They was more healthy than the Lakers.
More healthy, but they weren't healthy. So it
They
doesn't
was
matter.
more healthy than the Lakers.
I mean, if you have a cold or you have COVID, you're still sick. It doesn't matter.
But at the end of the day, they was more healthy than the Lakers. LeBron was banged up with that ankle, and AD was banged up with his groin.
Chris Paul had one hand.
He still
Devin Booker had a broke nose.
Oh, a broke nose. Kobe had a broke finger. Cry me a river.
He can't cry because he can't breathe because he had a broken nose.
Weak, Ray. Remember Kobe dislocated his finger? I seen Damian Lillard had to have surgery. And guess what he do? He went on the sideline, let Gary Beatty pop it, get back on
the
the
Columbia
court.
River is about 50 miles south of here.
Y'all seen that arch? Hey, they need me in the NBA. Lakers, call me. I'm your boy. I might got a little weight on me, but guess what? All I need to stand is that 3-point line. Bang.
Nah, you can't be worse than Westbrook. You can't do it worse than Westbrook.
I'm better than Russ. I'm shooting 50% from the field.
Wait, Marcus, you just take a shot?
I did. Okay.
Hey, they
I
call
don't
me
blame
Mr. Get Right.
This is what happened when Freddie started talking.
They call me Mr. Get Right.
But he ain't got right.
I had to take a shot on Freddie's take on that, boy.
As a matter of fact, y'all went to a sushi restaurant, didn't invite me. Yo, bald head. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wait a minute. Why?
Coming with the fire.
Right. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah. I said, wait till I see Chris on the next show. Act like I didn't see that. Act like I didn't see that.
Shame on you, Chris. Shame on you, Chris.
My bad, bro. We got you
Stay in
next
the
time.
same city, Bray, about 30 minutes ago. 30 minutes away. Go to a sushi restaurant, wherever y'all was at. Didn't call me a friend.
Do you eat sushi?
Huh?
Do you even eat sushi?
Look how big I am. I eat. I eat.
I didn't know. It comes with vegetables, and you don't eat vegetables or anything.
Well, you probably right didn't call me because if they had more vegetables than meat, I wasn't going to eat.
Exactly. Unlike Chris Paul, who was on a vegan diet, and that's why he's going to kick the Lakers' ass again.
And where's that vegan diet got him?
To the finals.
Did he win? Did he finish the job?
Did the Lakers finish the job?
Yeah, we did. Nate, more recent than your team.
Against an unhealthy Miami team.
Time out. The Lakers, I said,
did we beat your team in the playoffs, Nate, last? I don't remember. Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Next. We made it to the second round, unlike
we made it to the second round, but we finished the job.
Y'all still lost.
We won the championship.
Last year?
Ray don't have a dog in his fight because Washington haven't been relevant since Michael Jordan.
Oh, shoot.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
If
they wouldn't have let LeBron get away with a crab dribble, we would have beat him in the playoffs when he was in Cleveland. But he over there traveling with that bull crap. But they had to fix it. They had to let their king get to all them finals so he could keep losing. That's cool.
That's okay.
Now he out west, barely making the playoffs.
Ready. I wasn't even talking.
But guess what? Y'all haven't been relevant since Michael Jeffrey Jordan came out of retirement and come out of there and team up as an old man to come play with y'all bum. Y'all had.
I was not talking about.
Y'all too much for me.
Talking about finals in the past. I was talking about last year.
Right.
Y'all got eliminated in the first round. We made it to the second round.
Matter of fact, Freddie and Nate, me and Chris, both of y'all last year.
That we don't have superstars teaming up with everybody. We try and win it on our own.
Philadelphia haven't been relevant since Allen Iverson.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but no, that's not true.
That's not true. That ain't true. They was Kawhi Leonard shot away from moving on. What is you talking about?
I mean, hey, I can't complain. Like we second round exits. I can't complain. But
tell me the last time LeBron won a ring without another superstar next to him.
When was the last time Michael Jordan did that? Oh, wait.
He didn't have the opportunity. Scottie Pippen wasn't even a real superstar. He was nothing without Michael Jordan.
No, Ray,
more
no.
like Michael was without Scotty.
Don't you dare say that.
Michael wasn't
I don't know
winning.
about that one. I don't know about
We
that
saw
one.
what Scotty was when Mike wasn't there. He had 2 good years, and then he was nothing.
Mike, tell us what you know.
That's why he signed that bad
Mike,
deal.
educate the young buck, please. Conman, you seen it. Educate
Michael winning with Bill Winnington. What you mean?
Ray, hold on. Conman's gonna educate you. Con, you have the floor.
Okay, I'm glad I have the floor. First of all, Michael Jordan lost 9 years in a row.
To who, Conman? You know them teams. Tell us them teams he lost to.
Okay, but when did he start winning?
When he stopped playing Hall of Fame teams with 9 Hall of Famers.
When that country ass big nose dude from Arkansas came.
When did he start winning?
I guarantee you, if those Pistons, if Scottie Pippen would have been there early in Michael's career, they wasn't beating them Pistons.
9 or 10 championship.
He was there. He got drafted in 87. They ain't start winning until 91.
There you go. So until those teams got out the way, they wasn't going nowhere because they was too good.
He was that much of a GOAT. He should be able to elevate the guys that was around them to win those championships.
LeBron ain't never did that. Who LeBron elevate? Who LeBron elevate?
At least he get him to the fight. Jordan was getting bounced out the first
Who
round.
cares if you get to the fight and you lose? Whether you stop in a parking lot or stop in the ring, if you get your ass butt kicked, what difference do it make?
I'd rather get the 10 finals than getting bounced out the first round.
Why? You just playing more games for no reason.
No,
LeBron had both.
Your greatness.
You know, last Friday that this turned into a Jordan debate again.
It did. And I don't know how I got right. He started talking about my team. This ain't nothing about, we're talking about the trade deadline, and we're talking about relevant teams, and somehow we got stuck talking about the loser Lakers. We're not doing that.
Who's your basketball team? Carmen, who's your basketball team?
To be honest with you guys, I am a fan of the game. I don't have no favorite team. So I can look at things objectively. I don't have no favorite.
Me too, because my team's awful, and I know that.
So the Philadelphia 76ers, the Phoenix Suns, the Washington Wizards, the Denver Nuggets, they all are trash. They not on the Lakers level. We got 17.
You're right, they're not on the Lakers level. The Lakers are below them. What Cam Johnson said? He said the Lakers are the worst team in the West.
But you know what? We might be bad this year, but we still got 17 jury. What you got?
I thought we don't care about the past. What happened? I don't care about the past.
I'm not going over the past.
Ain't that what you said? You said about Russell Westbrook. Don't talk to us about what you did in the past. Didn't you say that? You said Russell Westbrook cannot talk about what happened in the past.
Freddie,
don't you bring up the past if Russ can't bring up the past.
You just contradicted yourself right there. Earlier, you just said that the Lakers have 17 rings. What have we got? And then you just said, I don't care about the past.
Nate, how many championships do your team have?
That don't matter, Freddie. We're not talking about the past, right?
How many do your team have?
We lost one.
I'm trying to see.
I bet Denver would whoop the Lakers right now.
I'm trying to make a math equation.
We lost one championship.
All your teams can equal up to my championship.
Before we even joined the NBA.
Marcus, how many championships your team have?
What?
Chris?
Mm-hmm.
How many?
Well, technically we got 2. We was the Philadelphia Warriors, so we got 2.
Two. Well, Chris, how many teams? How many your team got? I'll take that as 0. Ray, how many does your team have?
You're coming out hard today, man.
I don't understand why we're still talking about the
I'm
past.
asking the question. How many does your team have?
What difference does it make? It has nothing to do with what's happening right now.
Don't want to act right.
Freddie.
How many NBA championships does the Washington?
How about I got one for you. Let me check this out. Siri, go talk to Siri.
Shot now.
Washington with that.
Oh man.
I'm keep laughing. Let me look it up for you. It might not have none.
Freddie, remember this conversation because next time you and I are on an NFL show, I could turn that around and say how many championships do the Los Angeles Rams have?
Mike, who's
Mike? Don't do that because come Sunday.
Give me three of your favorite players, Mike.
Denver still has more than the Los Angeles Rams.
Facts.
Mike, give me three of your favorite players
of all time.
Of all time, whoever you want to pick.
Lawrence Taylor.
I'm talking about NBA.
Oh, and now we're gonna take about an hour and a half for that. I'm gonna go Lou Alcindor.
Green.
Okay. I gotta go with Elgin Baylor. I gotta go with Larry Bird.
Okay, that's three. Now, how many championships does Larry Bird have? 3, right?
Yes.
So that's 9, 10, 11, 12. So all y'all teams plus Mike's favorite players, for top 3 favorite players, that's 12 versus 17. I'm still winning this debate. Y'all teams are bombs, man.
Well, that's not true. Well, it's kind of true in a sense because Celtics got 16.
No. Nobody mentioned the Boston Celtics as their favorite.
But the Lakers got 17 because they.
What I said, Marcus, is that none of y'all teams have anything on me. Your Philadelphia 76ers have what? 2, you said, right? The Suns have 0. The Washington Wizards have 1. The Nuggets, and then Michael Conman's favorite players all together have about 11 championships.
All this for someone who just said they don't care about the best.
Right.
But guess what? I care about the dynasty. The Lakers is the best dynasty.
I don't do
NBA.
football shows, but somebody keep this same energy with Freddie when he brings up the Cowboys fans breaking up their rings.
The Cowboys, they was what, 92?
But I'm just saying though, like they'll bring it up and then he'll say that.
You dare bring that up, sir. The difference between the Cowboys and the Lakers have been more relevant. They haven't been irrelevant for 27 years.
Freddie, can you stop moving the goalposts?
The goalpost is right here, and I'm saying the same.
We talking about this year. This year, the Lakers are trash.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, they suck.
At the end of the day, they are trash.
I don't care about what happened before my mom was born and before your mom was born. Nobody cares about that.
They are the most talked about team, the most glorified team. They are the most. This is a team that keep the NBA moving.
This team ain't glorified. Have you watched them play? It's abysmal.
Yo, my man just down a beer, like in the middle of your sentence.
Because guess what? We could do without the Phoenix Suns. Nobody care about the Suns.
The number 1 team in the whole league.
Basketball. Nobody cares.
The number 1 team in the whole damn league. We don't care.
The Lakers more than the Phoenix Suns.
Because y'all are a train wreck. It's not because y'all are good.
We've seen the Chris Paul story. We've seen
the Lakers are the bad girls club of the NBA.
Steve Nash. Even when they had Steve Nash, how does that work for them?
What?
They got hip checked.
I agree with that. They was a Robert Ory. Robert Ory.
Oh, yeah, he got whacked. He got whacked.
They got hip checked and they got benched because people came off the bench. Stop it, Freddie.
But guess what? I can't help that the Phoenix Suns are cursed. We all seen that shot by Kobe. We all seen it. We all seen it.
Freddie, we're glad you can gloat on times of long ago.
I miss the Mamba. Just imagine if the Mamba was on this team. Oh my God!
On this team?
Woo!
You remember that time when Kobe went on that late night show?
You know what he did, right?
You remember Kobe on the late night show when they was asking him about his teammate?
I loved it when he did that.
That's what he would do with this team.
And he was celebrating. He was pissed. That's
exactly what he would do with this team.
You know what Westbrook would have done? You know what Kobe would have done? He would have came into the late in practice. So I just want to come tell y'all bums, y'all getting traded today.
And he would have traded LeBron, Bum James, and AD Trash Davis.
He would have traded AD for being soft.
He would have went to Washington to make y'all relevant.
Who?
The Washington Wizards.
Who would have went to Washington and made us relevant?
Wanted them to go to Washington.
AD? I don't want AD in Washington.
AD and LeBron. Hell, you would have wanted Carmelo Anthony too, because I can't get nobody to take your money. Hell, Spencer did what he did, but what did he do? He wanted right up out of there.
Why are you a Washington fan, right?
I'm from here.
He don't know no better.
Oh.
I'm from here.
Just Ray is praying.
Unlike Freddie, who up until a week ago was a Giants fan and had no loyalty to his home state, I don't do that. I actually care about where I'm from.
First off, my home state is the Rams because I was born in the city of the Angels, in the city of California. So,
and you were a Giants fan.
The second of all, I will not root for an organization of the New York Giants that is racist, that don't want to change.
And there's something else too.
Freddie, can you tell me how many black head coaches the Rams have had?
Freddie is an Alabama fan. Alabama is not in LA.
Right. He don't have no loyalty to anything LA unless it's good.
I'm born in LA. I'm a Dodgers fan. I'm a Lakers fan. And now I'm a Rams fan.
That man said now I'm a Rams fan.
Because they're good. Until they're not.
Just imagine this, y'all. Just imagine this. They just signed Spencer Dinwiddie. And he didn't even want y'all money.
You know how many people ran out of LA? That's why y'all got to turn the roster over every year because people don't want to come back.
This is what Ray do. Every night he get on his knees and he prays to the basketball.
They run from y'all. Every player that has a chance to play with LeBron leaves.
Please bring Kevin Durant home. We need you, KD.
I bet you wish you had Kevin Durant right now, don't you?
Nope, I don't want that problem on my team.
Then you a fool.
I don't want that problem on my team either. Yeah,
you got the wrong OKC player.
I'd rather the king over the snake.
I'd rather take down
the snake.
Hey, Kenny OG.
When he don't like him, he trade him away. He's the snake.
Guess what? At least he know what to get rid of a problem. KD can't get rid of the problem in Kyrie Irving.
He don't want to get rid of him. He can win with it.
That's the problem.
And you better be happy that Kyrie chose to stay with LeBron. And LeBron will have one less ring and be even worse in the finals.
No, we better be glad.
Exactly.
We better be glad that
you got on your lucky knees and thank God for Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving didn't do this foolish.
Technically,
That's how that should be. LA Kings fan.
Yeah, Kyrie should be thanking LeBron for coming back to Cleveland because they wouldn't have got that if LeBron never came back.
Kyrie wasn't concerned about that. Kyrie wasn't concerned about. Kyrie was happy getting his 60-point games and losses. He wasn't tripping over no ring.
He's still not.
LeBron is the one that needed saving of the legacy.
But guess what, Ray? Guess what? At the end of the day, we see how great a leader he is in the LeBron because Kyrie Irving.
He's so great of a leader. He came with Russell Westbrook a multiple time MVP to play right.
Hell, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson all be on the same team. You ain't teaching pighead Russell Westbrook to change his game.
I ain't seen LeBron teach nobody nothing.
Hey, fellas, can I ask y'all a question? I can interrupt you for 1 minute. Y'all
please
crazy.
Do. Man, please save this man.
All I'm saying, if the Lakers had obtained DeMar DeRozan instead of Westbrook, where would they be?
In a way better position.
The best team in the Western Conference.
The hell?
They would be top three.
Because they could have got him.
They would be top three.
Team. We just not showing it right now.
I don't even know they'd be top three.
They would be top three.
They'd be top three.
I don't know because it's still LeBron.
What's the question?
They would be top three because LeBron and DeRozan, they both kind of play similar styles. They're not.
Even if we just
shooters.
got Buddy Hill, we still better than
Y'all be better with better Hill.
Yeah, y'all probably better with Buddy Hill. And Malik
No,
Monk.
sir. Don't y'all disrespect All-Star DeMar DeRozan.
No, I'm not disrespecting DeMar at all. I'm
They
saying
would
even
be better
LeBron.
with Buddy Hield. Malik
Yeah,
Monk and
I
Buddy
said-
Hield is
no,
the
I
same
didn't
guy.
say that, Ray. That don't you dare do that. I didn't say that. I said even if it was Buddy Hield, we'll still be one of the best teams in the West with Buddy Hield or DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan makes y'all much better than Buddy Hield. Malik
Yes.
Monk and Buddy Hield are basically the same guy.
I agree with you on that. If you
So you don't need Buddy Hield, but DeMar DeRozan,
your heart
Nice.
instead of with
Nice.
your ears.
DeMar DeRozan, when AD's out there loafing and hurt all the time, DeMar DeRozan go for that ride.
But let's not sit up and act like DeMar DeRozan don't show up in big games as well. He wasn't able to finish the job.
You can put DeMar DeRozan in that Chris Middleton category, but y'all ain't going no.
Y'all are disrespecting DeMar, and I don't like it. Let me tell you that.
I
You
agree.
don't care what you like, what you don't like. But you go here.
Y'all is disrespectful, and y'all need to put some respect on DeMar DeRozan's name, calling him Chris Middleton. That's shameful.
I mean, technically, he ain't really done nothing since he got.
He haven't done nothing yet.
He
But
ain't done
just
nothing,
beat
man.
up by
You
LeBron.
mean he ain't done nothing yet? He's changed life in Chicago. Nobody talking about Chicago like this.
And
We're
Chicago
still not talking about
relevant.
Chicago, but hey,
guess
Well,
what?
then you
That's
should be
irrelevant.
talking about
Chicago.
Chicago.
why?
Chicago.
Y'all need to look up DeMarcus stats.
Y'all is some haters.
Consistent every single year. Consistency.
But you right,
Real.
Carmen. It's consistent. But guess what? It's
Until the
consistent
playoffs, though.
in the playoffs.
He was being saddled with Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry got a ring.
Kyle Lowry's the problem now. The NBA champion.
Them
Kyle
he
Lowry.
got a
two
ring.
together, they couldn't beat the Heat.
But he
Florida
won
Cavs.
a
Come on now.
championship. He
Let's
won
not
a
As
championship.
soon as they traded for Kawhi, and I don't think Kawhi was the main reason that they won either. So
They don't. They
You
never
see the
able to
shot that he hit
compensate
against
tomorrow.
Philadelphia? Did you see the
watched it,
shot
and
he
I
hit?
was- Yes, I cried them all.
But
when
they needed a
when they
leader.
did
Who was that
Go
leader of
ahead.
that team?
It's
Lowry
it
was a
hurtful.
leader.
But no, Kawhi, he wasn't the main reason why.
Like, can we go ahead and say Kawhi really ain't that dude that people want to make it seem like he's that dude?
Right. He,
Wait. What?
Really?
Not,
So
what,
we
he's
gonna
not
just
what, dude?
rewrite all of history? That's what we doing? He's
Like,
a
Kawhi's not
finals
what dude, though.
What history
MVP.
tells me, Ray, is that
Finals
this man,
MVP
this
Kawhi
man
Leonard.
needs to ride coattails of players. What it
Who?
tells me in San Antonio, he had MED. He had
He
Ginobili,
won
he had
Finals
Tony
MVP
Parker.
on that team. What is you saying?
But that's not sitting.
How you ride the coattails and win
Finals
Finals
MVP?
MVP?
Like he had the best power forward on his team.
you know what's funny, right? Because Iguodala won Finals MVP by guarding LeBron and holding him to 35 points a game. So
And that's
kinda
a
weird
and
that
that
he
is
wins.
a robbery.
Like,
But in
And
all
that
honesty,
is
though,
that's
a
flawed-
robbery.
that's a flawed
but
argument.
when you put Iguodala on LeBron, did that not change the series though? I mean, it makes sense. Like I agree with that Finals MVP pick personally.
Nah,
I
you
thought
tripping.
it should've-
You tripping?
What?
Steph
Yeah,
Curry
that's a
was
full
the
argument.
argument.
MVP.
No,
Because-
Curry was not.
But
Iguodala did.
Kawhi Leonard,
at the time, LeBron was going one on. His second best player when Iguodala was on him was Matthew Dellavedova, because Kevin Love got hurt and Kyrie pretty much was hurt.
What they did was what the Lakers did. I mean, not the Lakers. The Bulls did against the Lakers. You put Pippen on Magic instead of Jordan. They put Iggy on him. I mean, it changed the dynamic.
Well, no, it does.
Still took him to game 6.
I'm a Scottie Pippen fan.
Wait a minute. Is Nate in the chat?
Yeah, I just said something in the chat.
Nate just saying.
I was like,
right here.
Still took him to a game 6. Woo. That's goatish right there.
Lord have mercy. I've never seen somebody be more excited for losing than anyone else in my life.
Yeah, well, I can't help that the Golden State Warriors had to load up to one of the greatest teams that we probably. Well,
LeBron did it first.
They're not the
Stop.
greatest
They
team.
are
Not
the greatest team. Record-wise, they are the
LeBron
greatest
did
team.
it first, and
Because
they
the
didn't
Warriors is
load
not
up.
the greatest. Let's
They
get
was the greatest
the
team.
Warriors is not the greatest team.
One of the
But they're
The
not.
Warriors was the greatest team. Like, who was 73-9?
Who?
I mean, 72-9.
Who?
No, they were
No,
73
they
and
were
9. They were
73 and
73
9. You got it
Who
right.
you think?
Right? Yeah, 73-9.
Who you
So
say,
it was the
Marcus?
Warriors. It's the Warriors, the greatest team out
They
there.
ain't the greatest team.
They were the greatest regular season
They
team.
not better
They
than
didn't
that
win.
Showtime Lakers team. Ain't having it. They not even better than that Kobe and Shaq teams. Not
They
having it.
never won 73-9 though. So technically,
They not even better than that Kobe and Shaq team. When you do it, they didn't do what they were supposed to. They didn't do the 3-peat.
So you mean some of that KD KD Warriors team? You ain't putting that above the Lakers.
They didn't do the three-peat. They didn't finish.
Freddie doesn't count. Why are you asking Freddie for logic? He's blinded by emotions.
That we've had teams do the three-peats, even the Chicago Bulls. If we're gonna put them over them, please get out.
The record wise says they're the best team ever.
Records, I don't care. We don't care.
Draymond got suspended. It was up 3-1. The momentum changed the same way Russ destroyed the momentum.
Okay, but on that, I mean, Draymond was there 6 and 7.
No, we talking
and
about
Draymond played well. Steph came up small.
And that's why we can name them the best team of all time.
But you can't the following year, though, when Kevin Durant came.
Swept low LeBron right up out of there.
And LeBron came back and said, Cleveland, this is for you.
That was 26.
Now, Freddie, just sit now to go against you a little bit here. Well, that's probably what I've been doing all episode. But anyway, to go against you a little bit here, you can have the best team of the year, but not have the best era.
This is not the best era.
The 73-9.
This is not the best era of basketball, Nate.
Now we could have a whole new different show. Who had the best era or the best draft?
That's definitely going to be another show. We can do
that. That's a whole.
I know.
But
my point is,
you go 84, you go 96, and you can go 2000.
Allen Iverson, you get players like that.
And you go 2009 if you want to.
Like, my point is,
why
are you talking about a why are you talking about a three-peat when you're talking about the best team of a single year?
Because Freddie just make up facts. They don't.
The Warriors are the best team ever regular season, if you want to call it, because nobody has a 73-9 record.
That's the end of the discussion. The discussion ends there.
But they're not the greatest team of all time, though.
He just said regular season.
I said regular season.
That's fine. We don't care about regular season in LA. That's fine.
Obviously, y'all don't. We didn't care about regular season. Y'all don't care about regular season.
Chicago didn't care about it, so that's fine.
That's another topic. That's another debate too. That could probably go on for 2 hours.
They didn't Y'all see who's over Conman's head? The greatest.
Yeah, I'm trying to show y'all.
The greatest player of all time.
I'm trying to get back.
Okay, you got the Kobe back there.
Yeah.
Kobe's my top 5, but I like Kobe.
It's disrespectful that they even got LeBron in that picture.
Wait, what did you just say, Marcus? Kobe's what?
Kobe's not in my top 5.
He's not in your top 5?
Yeah, I like y'all. You know, all y'all Kobe fans out there.
Who's your top 5?
My top 5?
Yeah.
Not in no particular order.
I want the order.
You want the order?
You ain't got to go in order. Just do your top 5. You've been drinking. Just do your top 5.
Yeah, Jordan, LeBron, AI, Chris Webber, and Tim Duncan.
Chris Webber?
We don't stop.
I like Soldier Boy.
Chris, don't do it, fellas.
Oh, you getting ready to leave now?
Chris Webber.
We don't.
That's
my top 5. Listen, I ain't disrespect nobody top 5, but I'm a Chris Webber.
Nobody have Chris Webber in it.
That's the problem. That's how you know it's my top 5.
That's what I said.
Chris Webber ain't in Chris Webber's top 5.
Yeah, I like his game. You know, I'm a Chris Webber fan. So
we understand.
Marcus, at least that is not as bad.
Hold on, Nate. I got an announcement to the network. Immediately before you can come on another show, everybody must get drug tested before they can come on the show.
Yeah, Freddie said a lot of stuff, but Marcus, I think you might have just had the craziest thing on this show.
That's my top 5. I'm a Chris Webber fan. I've been a fan.
I'm Chris. Make sure your doctor email me your test first.
The great thing about Mike is Mike can be objective.
List.
Marcus, make sure your doctor email me your test results.
That's how you know I got a legit top 5. Like everybody just spit out names that they knew. They do. My top 5 is legit. I'm a Chris Webber fan.
The greatest players of all time, number 1.
Having Chris Webber.
Number 1. Number 2, LeBron James. Number 3, Kareem
Abdul.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I can't think of his name. Number 4.
It's not his top 5. You
Number
can't come up
4,
with names,
Michael
man.
Jordan. Number 5, I'm going with the greatest point guard of all time.
See, Kobe ain't even your top 5. I'm telling you, Kobe's not.
I
your
said
top
Kobe was
Kobe's
first.
number 1.
Kobe was
five.
his
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that. I thought you said LeBron.
LeBron's number 2.
Oh, okay.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar number 3. Michael Jordan number 4. Magic number 5.
I ain't hating on that. It's all preference. You know, just Kobe's not in my top 5. He might be in my top 10.
He
But he ain't in my
might be.
top 5.
He might.
Yeah, I'm a T-Mac. I'm a T-Mac fan.
Hey, Marcus.
T-Mac
first
is my
thing in the
all-time favorite
morning,
player.
Yeah, I'm
here's
here. I'm
the
definitely
time to
T-Mac
get drug
fan.
tested. Ray, take us home.
Freddie, I haven't agreed with you much tonight, but we are in lockstep and barrel on that last
And if you
statement.
need a COVID test, take that too. Take immense test you need to take. 'Cause I'm concerned about you, Marcus. I'm concerned about you.
I'm a fan of Chris Webber. I wish this
Marcus,
would have
we
got him
we
earlier in
appreciate your
his career. That's for
we
damn sure.
appreciate your fandom, but you got to win something, an MVP, a finals, or something. And Chris ain't won
I'm just a
nothing.
fan of
A
his
jump
game,
rope
you know.
contest, something.
I'm a fan of his game, so he ain't had to win nothing. Like I
When
mean,
one of your biggest moments is calling a timeout you didn't have, you should be in the top
that's
5.
true too.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, got to
Now,
the
Magic did do that though. Now, like Magic did that once. So.
Yeah, but he also had-
Yeah, but
Some
is that
other-
one of Magic's biggest moments though?
Most people don't even
No.
remember that. But
so
Marcus,
you can't
thank
be a
you so
true
much.
basketball- Yeah, you can't be a true basketball fan if you don't got somebody outside the box in your top 5. I'm sorry, it can't be
If
the
a
same. name.
favorite top 5 is different from an actual top 5. Like there's people in my favorite players
It's my
that are
actual
not
top 5, right?
actually in the top 5, but I like them. But
Hey, if we want to go off
man.
a favorite top 5, then heck, why don't I put Jokic at 1?
Pick
yeah,
who
you
at
shouldn't
one?
do that either. You shouldn't do that
I
either.
said favorite.
Hey, but
I
Jokic-
know.
At least he
I
got
hear
an MVP. At least he got an MVP. I don't think Weber has a vote for MVP.
Now, before
Nah,
we
he
end the
doesn't.
show, I don't know if you guys seen this. A strip club in Philadelphia has posted a picture. on
They did
Instagram, says
welcoming
strip club.
James Harden.
Shut
Yep.
up. Are y'all serious?
Already? Gee.
He's about to change life for them.
He
So
sure
you
is,
better
but-
put your best outfit on and get to it.
You know, fellas, I want to tell y'all something real quick. I'm biased, but I had the opportunity to play against Dr. J and Nate Archibald. So that's how I got to roll. Those are my two. Dr. J was incredible. 1976. He put on, it was crazy. So y'all ain't mentioned Dr. J. That's all I'm saying.
I haven't had the opportunity to see Dr. J play, so my top 5 is who I've seen play. Now I wish I would have had the opportunity because by the time I was old enough to watch it, they already tore out of the Spectrum Center. So, you know, wish I would have seen them play.
See, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because if I had going off of who I seen play, then Michael Jordan wouldn't even be on the list.
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
I wouldn't even be mad at you at that either because it's your top 5.
I say that. I say
Yeah.
that because I was born when he played for the Wizards.
So yeah, you definitely would have been a Michael Jordan fan. That's for sure. Y'all call Michael.
He's my number 1 on the top 5, but he's, that's only because I study history.
And history also tell you that Robert Horry is better than Michael Jordan when it comes to rings.
Yes.
Ray, take us home tonight.
Fellas,
Hey.
fellas,
hell
thank
were
you so
you
much for your
drinking?
time. Mark,
Damn, I know
you
we
have
saw you
been
take a
great.
shot, but damn.
Yeah, he started
Hey,
drinking and he just lost it. So, but fellas, it was great to have y'all. I hope you have a great weekend. I thank you for all the great insight and crazy takes. Definitely some of those you might want to keep to yourself next time, but appreciate you guys sharing it with us. So y'all have a great evening and we'll see y'all next week.
All sports, all plays. All sports all plays. All sports all plays.